Hmm. I know what's wrong. It's the script that resets stuff. So, I have pretty much just undone everything that I have done up until this point in terms of resizing stuff, because as I figured out, changing the size of all the assets does not change the size of the shadows. It's the shadow map that's responsible for changing the size of the or the aliasing of the shadows. So I believe if I want to get rid of these jagged edges, then all I have to do is simply up the texture map. But at least right now, with this stuff, I'm not gonna have issues. Oh, I'm not gonna have issues. I gotta make this stuff small again. And I did copy the progress that I did into a separate project, so just in case, it's there if I want to go back. Okay. So it's the generate terrain one that I need to change. All the sides were here. 1, 1, 1. Set object position. Scale. Scale is what I need. I do like the concept of large pylons. I'd have to make them rotate way less though. See, this thing is back. Yes, it is. I still gotta fix the weird collision bullshit that I have here. Can I fix the collision just by changing the thing? Just by changing the... This is Okay, I know that this works. I'm gonna stick to it. And if I can't make the shadows to look nice and smooth, I'm gonna embrace the blockiness, and if anything, I'll just make them even more blocky. I'll keep them, keep this as a style. Because I actually, it doesn't look terrible. Not by far. See, there's very little light coming in through. Okay. Really gotta... I have to expand on what it is that I consider floor content. so I just realized something. Huh. I just realized that I'm gonna have to make a new array. And this array is going to have to actually store the type of a pylon that I'm generating, because I can't read it from the ID of the pylon. Now I can actually do this stuff here when it's actually being generated. Okay. So, man. Here we go. So this is what I need. String pylon type. Right? So when we are picking, we're gonna say where am I using? Oh, here we go. Okay. So I'd have to do this. Pylon array, pylon type, push back, and we'll do string temporary pylon type. If we pick this one's gonna be pylon 1. Because I need to let myself know exactly what type of pylon I'm going to be using. Which technically there's a pillars, but I'm too used to saying pylon, so that is going to be my reason. Alright, I think this is actually it. Daniel Siders says hello. Hello. How's it going? What are you up to? Are you a fellow game developer or just a random passerby? Yep, I got it. Okay, so right over here. Get a lift from server. Just say lift from this game is equals to get whatever float don't beat yourself up. Just because you're 15 does not always have to mean that you make bad games. Game making experience doesn't come with age, it comes with how much game development you've been doing. Right? If you've been passionate about game dev and you've been doing nothing but game development day in and day out, you'll have a shitload of experience, or a shitload more of experience than some 30-year-old who's been doing game dev like every Sunday. Yeah, there you go. It's quality, not quantity. So, you got anything to show? Anything up on the interwebs? Okay, so lift will be equals to the host's lift. And then we will get all the stuff from the temporary variables. And I don't need to do lift. I do need to set the object position though. I'll reset. Then, don't do random. Voiceovers for your demo that I hope to put into my channel soon. No test gameplay footage yet. Nothing of that sort. No promotional material. Okay, so we get the pylon type in this temporary variable. If it's equals to 1, then we're going to create... Okay, so this thing lines up pretty much. It's going to be pylon 4. And create the pylon size 1. Maybe I should... Nah, it's fine. We'll just leave it as 1 for now. Now, set object position. This needs to change. (2D RPG). What are you working for game development? Pylon. Let me actually scroll down to the same list so I could see the temporary variables. Position. So temporary position X, temporary position Y, temporary position Z. Set object image. Yes. Set object rotation. So rotation is this. Let's do Z before it rolls off the screen, and Y. Don't need this. The color doesn't change. The emissive stays the same. Set object cast shadow. Right, the game you made for the past 3 years is a practice. Yeah. And well, if you believe the project has potential, you can always follow through with it as a full game. Because this was me practicing making games using App Game Kit in BASIC, right? Now I've transferred it to C++ and I'm continuing it because it has more potential than just being a prototype test thing, right? So if you see potential, you can go through with it. So position, scale's the same, rotation, right. These are the imported pylon shit. Pylon type. Nah, I can probably let's see. Where's the pylon type? We can probably copy it. It doesn't have to be, but I'll copy it anyways. And the ID is going to store the ID of the local pylon. So, if I am right, what is this end of? Maybe there's an extra. Yep, okay, so delete this. Okay, so this is end of loop. End of loop. All right, thanks for subscribing. Appreciate it. And stop sending the request message. So this, if I'm correct, this should sync up the server level layout and the client level layout. Maybe. Okay. So out of the obvious stuff, let's launch. Let's go ahead and launch the second instance of Visual Studio. I created both clients. God damn it. Oh, here we go. Damn it. Reached the end of XX. This is supposed to be different. going to be temp pylon rotation rate. I'm trying to get a bunch of variables that don't exist. Okay. So, pylon, input pylon type, rotation, X, Z. Oh, no, come on. Here we go. Okay. I don't think I'm using any more. Let's try this out. Is there an array? Oh yeah. I'm not expanding one of the arrays, am I? No, I am. Pylon type. But I'm not destroying that array, am I? Because right at the beginning here, I'm calling remove terrain pylons. Wow, I'm actually using this function quite a lot. Good thing I made it into a function. Pop back. Here we go. Pylon type. Pop back. Where else am I using that function that I need to redo it? I mean, actually, as far as I really know, I'm only using, whoops. As far as I really know, I'm only using the function when I create and when I delete the array. After that, the randomization just kind of, I don't need to randomize the type of the pylon. The random position stuff would do it for me. Line 1234. It tells you the line actually. Line 1234. What does it have to do with this line? Oh, it's 1234. Whoops. Jeez. Hi, yes. How's it going? Is it actually 1234? I don't remember. P, okay. Line 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's impossible. But it's a vector command, so it means that I am not... Am I getting the same error actually just by... Yeah, no. Not unless I actually have it connected. So it's the client side. Oh, Jesus. Okay. 3. Oh, no. Come on. 10.2, please. Okay, and I'll find 10.2 in here when it's a server side. Here we go. Okay. So we create a message. First integer, client ID, message float, 10.2f. First, we get the pylon array size. So, highest, what have you been up to? Temp size of pylon array. Right. Then we're supposed to get the lift float. And that's what we're sending. After this, depending on how many pylons we have sent, we are going to first store integer pylon type, integer pylon type, then float, 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 float for the rate, and then 3 more floats, 3 more floats. Then we send a message. Then we go over here, which in here we're not supposed to be using XX for anything really, because this has nothing to do with the arrays, so it doesn't seem like I'm using it for anything. Pylon misspelled. That's great. What am I using this on? Hold on, I haven't even wait. I haven't even created that pylon. Oh wait, this is already done in something else. Ah, it's right there. That's right. So, I read the type. If it's a 1, we create pylon 1, etc., etc. We set the scale, position, according to the temporary variables provided up there. Set object image, then we set rotation X, Y, Z. Set emission, cast shadow, receive shadow. Set object fog mode. And now we need to push back the arrays. How many times am I calling? No, just one. Just once. Okay. Then we take pylon array type rotation rate. Let's keep it nice and organized. X, Y, Z rotation. Wait, why don't I need to do pushback though? What the fuck is this? No, what? Hold on a second. How big of a array is the other thing? Made this in a couple of days. What I think is I'm going to open it. Open the link once I see it. Okay, so is my thing actually creating the array twice? Let's see. Show link. Twitter. Twatter. Twatter. Gotta copy the link. Here we go. Not bad. Did you hear the new Five Nights at Freddy's game came out? Official Five Nights at Freddy's 6. Markiplier's playing it already. Looks good. Actually looks pretty good. Let another craze begin. For as long as Scott Cawthon is making Five Nights at Freddy's games, I'm getting that juicy YouTube revenue from that 3D shader tutorial. Woohoo, for every $1 million that Scott Cawthon makes off of his Five Nights at Freddy's game, I make 10 cents off of the tutorial from all the fan games. Woo! It's kind of weird. Hey, hold on a second. Let me take the look. It looks kind of alright. The head, the skeleton head, that's is that an inside of a mask or an outside of a mask? Because it kind of reads as an inside of a mask. Yeah, dude. That's why I made it. Okay, so if I was using the pushback and the other array function, hold on a second. Let me look this up. So there's, whoops, no. If I'm using the pushback function, yeah, what the hell? I don't need to be using the resize array though, because it's going to create the. It's gonna create this pile. It's basically made my array twice as big as it's supposed to be. Okay. Okay, how about I do the following? I will keep this enabled, and HJK print size. Okay, so I want HJK print, yes, pylon array size. Maybe that was a weird thing. Yep, of course there's build errors. Why wouldn't there be build errors? Forgot my semicolons. Control 7. Oh yeah, I should probably have this placed in in the main loop. You know, if I'm a professional programmer. Let's see, begin somewhere around here. Like over here. I'll put in the... Ah, come on. Don't do this to me. Integer temp a size equals. I don't know how many times I've done this already. I've lost track. Is the outside supposed to be a skeleton mixed with a robot? It for now kind of looks like a skeleton with braces. So, a high schooler. Hey, okay, so it's not crashing, so that's nice. Launch the other one. Where is it? There we go. Okay. So there's a pylon invading my space over here. There we go. But technically, in this game, we're supposed to see that exact same pylon. Ah, damn it. I've created both clients again. That tiny heart attack. You got interrupted by fire drills. There was an accident. Was this some dickhead pulling the fire alarm for the hell of it? So P tits again. Created a client. Why can't I get this? So, oh, that's right. I have stuff being drawn even if you don't create anything. Okay, come on. Create the same level P. Ah, okay. Vector subscript out of range. It's it. Whoa. Wait a minute. That was the host crashing. Ow. Okay, hold on a sec. But it didn't... That wasn't the purpose of the whole test. I need to see this. Pylon array size 400. What happens when I do this? So, pylon array size 200. So, I have 200 objects in the level, not 400. 200. Now, let's create that client. There seems to be some error. Some crash that happens right at the start of the code. It only happens sometimes, and I can't see. No way. Did it work? Hold on a minute. In 1 second, I'm gonna get an image in Simon's full body. God damn, you rendered quickly. Jesus Christ. What are you, fucking render shit on NASA's computers over there? Oh yeah, that's right. You did mention you have like i7 rigs, don't you? Don't you? Huh? You rich bitch. Here I am getting this shit down on 10-year-old hardware. Whoa, I am stuck. Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, let me do something about this this stuff. Let me get the pylons to not be humongous. So 0.4, and over here this is going to be 0.4. I do like the idea of ginormous pylons floating in the space. Just not as long as they don't intersect with the spawn area, I would be happy. Okay, so if the server, if the client is receiving the server's information, then the scenes in these two windows should be identical once I press the client server connection key. Oh yeah, I should probably create the server first. I have specific text that pops up that tells me server created. And I am not paying attention to it. Okay. There are things that match. There are things that match the pylon over here, one over here, that thing, those three, right over there, and they're rotating at the same rate. But half of them are missing. Why is half of them missing? It can't be the pushback function that I disabled, because the pushback function was extra. It wasn't supposed to be there. Okay, so the problem is either in the server not sending half of them, or the client not receiving half of them. So these are all the pylons in existence. Press O. It says we have... Is there actually a function that can count how many objects I have? Object count number list get. Okay, so how about this? Get object depth what the hell is a get object quat? Returns the W component of the object's current rotation converted to a word. I don't... Wait, hold on. What is this? Define a complex number form a formula that I don't understand. This is a rabbit hole. W, X, Y, Z are real numbers. Are imaginary units? Are you shitting me? This looks like a very useful function. I have no idea what it does. Okay. Raycast. World angle. World X. Object X. object, 3D physics. Okay, so 3D physics might actually come in useful, but realistically, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. When I am creating these pylons, right at the start, this is why I need a bigger monitor. It's on my list, people. It's on my list. Integer object count, temporary object count equals 0. Just to check the array is of the same size as the thing, I'll just do plus plus, and I'll say AJK printed creation amount, and I'm going to print this variable instead. If there are as many objects as I think there are, oh yes, pylon array is 200, printed creation object amount is 200. Do that. Okay, so you just sent another thing. Let's take a look at this. Whoops. There we go. Zoinks, you have taken a wrong turn. Did you do something to the... No. It does not find the image URL. I like how the eyes are tracking the mouse movement. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nice. Nice. I mean, shit. Even it would take me a pretty... It would take me a pretty damn long time to render this. Or to model this. I'm sure eventually I would come up with something, but god damn. It's actually really good. It's actually really good. Okay. I know that... What do I know that? I know that I am creating the correct amount. So now, let's go ahead and check how many... How many of these things am I getting? So AJK print AJK print client array size. And this has to be print C. And this is print regular. Temp integer temp CL array size equals, we will get the array dot size. I don't know why I can't. I'm not sure why I can't just put it in there. Maybe this actually does a conversion. This is an integer. This returns something else. I'm getting a phone call from a non-Canadian number. Oh boy. Yellow. Sorry, 1 second. 1 second. Say that again.
Okay, this is Officer Len Bradley from GRA, Canada Revenue Agency.
Uh-huh.
Number 08251, that's my extension number. That's my ID-based number. And I believe my speaking with Cash, right?
With who?
This is Mr. Cash Mail.
Yes.
Also, well, so the reason of my call is to notify you that we have received some of the paperwork from the federal courthouse and it has been registered under your name. And it states that the CRA has filed a lawsuit against you. There's none available arrest warrant for a tax eviction and tax fraud. So are you aware of the situation at this moment?
Wait, you're calling from the Canada Revenue Agency?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Just to make sure that this this phone call is being recorded for the customer service quality and quality assurance.
So this call has been highly recorded and monitored by the FCC, the GRA headquarters, the lawyer office, the RTMP. So before I go ahead and provide some of all the information, let me also...
Right. Okay. Wait. So under which name did you say this was?
Under my safe, sir.
Right. So if you guys were a real Canada Revenue Agency, you would know my real name, not my public name.
That's why I'm asking you. Verify me your first name so that we can also...
Well, no. You just called me by my public name, not my legal name. So you're not really the Canada Revenue Agency, are you? You're just some cunt in an office trying to scam people.
How can you say that, Mr. Miles?
Right, well, you keep calling me that, and that's not my actual name. And the Canada Revenue Agency would have my real name. There you go. Next time I'll try to waste more of his time. My name is Alcoholic. That's funny. Anyways. If it's a scam, don't hang up. Have as much fun with it as you can. Waste their time. I mean, next time I'm just going to put it to the side and let him talk. And, and just keep working. This is the best thing you can do, is waste these people's times. Fucking officer, some dickhead with a number from buttfuck nowhere. I don't know. People have done enough of this shit. So, you know. That's what you should do. You should, like, go to... Hold on, let me turn down the mic. You should go to, like, a gas station. Pick up one of those pay-as-you-go phones. Right? And just plaster your phone number everywhere. Make sure that every fucking scam artist gets that phone number. And then whenever they call, roll the camera or the microphone, or, you know, whatever you want. Rig it up so you get good quality connection. Oh, man, that's funny. Anyways, what am I doing? I need to print the size of the array on the client side. Yeah, dude. That's the best thing you can do. Just because it makes them think that they've just wasted all their time. You know, if you're like, you get good at it and you're like, oh yeah. So what's this? So what's the fine? Like, how long do I have to pay for this? Right? You just sit in your chair doing your homework or doing whatever. Just make them feel like they have something. Oh man, just hour in, you know, you're doing your homework. You're like, yeah, tell me more. Yeah. So which courthouse am I supposed to go in? Because my bank doesn't allow me to send checks. I need to go to a court and just full of shit like that. Well, that's why I'm saying you can go to the gas station because they have like those cheap, you know, like the $60 that you pay for it, or like $50 that you pay for it, is like, that's the amount of time you have on it, and the cost of the phone is like $10, $15, right? If anything, you can like buy a $20 phone off of Amazon, not Amazon, AliExpress. Anyways, okay, so I need. Oh, you be the server. There's no way to stop these phone calls from coming in. So you might as well just have fun with them. Okay. OP. There we go. Okay, now what is the client side array? It says 201, which is kind of understandable. But not all of the things are in here. Not all of the objects are in here. I get exactly half the objects. I am storing them in though, right? Yeah, I am. It goes through the code 200 times. Yeah, I've seen those virtual machine prank videos. They're fun. You can also do that, absolutely. You know, I just realized that technically you can use a client as a cameraman. If I have like a key that toggles off the whatchamacallit, the user interface. Oh no, I can actually move the player. I mean, not well, but just, you know. Oh no. Bye bye. Oh wow. Oh wow. What the fuck? What the fuck? Interesting. I'm floating. Oh, it's because this player's stuck inside of this, and there we go. So what is this doing? Making the objects visible for both players? This is basically when the client is connecting to the server is supposed to send the exact level layout to the client, so that both games, the client and the server, have the same level, and they can traverse the same level, right? Because it's randomly generated. So that is what I'm trying to do now. So wait a minute. So here's basically what I'm trying to debug right now. I'm creating this thing. So this is the server. I press O, it becomes the server, right? I can see if as a client, I go ahead and look at the same position. When I connect, you see it deletes all the objects. And it sends this thing, right? And, right? So, I am supposed to... Here we go. So I'm supposed to see certain objects with the client. So you see these two pylons I can see over here. There's nothing in the background there, though, for whatever reason. It's just not there. If I die, get back up here, it's all random again. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on. These might be two related issues. Also, hey, I won't bug testing this piece of art. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. I definitely won't. Okay, well, if you don't want to, then sure. You know, that puts a big old nail on that question. I guess I'll just have to, you know, give it away to someone else. You know, obviously, whoever's been helping me test this thing would have to would obviously keep the game. But since you said you don't want to, clearly in the first one, I won't bug testing this piece of art. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, hint, hint. clearly you said no, so just putting a big fat no right on that one before I ask the question even. I see how it is. Men don't want to help. Man. Anyways, where is 10.2? Maybe I'm sending the wrong array type. Is there a limit to the size of a package? Let's see. Maybe there is a limit to the size of the package. Let's see. Network. Create message. Get broadcast message. That's pretty good. Create network message. Creates a network message that can be sent to another network. It returns an ID, can be used to interact with the message. Message created this way can only be added to, not read from. Once passed to a network message, ID is destroyed and handled by the background network code. Gotcha. So what the fuck? Okay, so how about this? In the receiving side, what am I printing here actually? Client array size, pylon array size. And I'm printing pylon dot size. So after all these shenanigans, it should be the right size. Maybe what if it's, hold on. Is it only creating pylons of a single type? Because maybe that's broken. Oh. So P Let's see. No. Seems like all of the types are present. It's just not. Okay, so how about this? Temp pylon array size. Okay, the only way I can really do this, is there a AGK pause set pause? No, I can't set pause. I need to see what is the value of the size of the pylon array that I'm receiving from this thing. And for that, I need to place it as a temporary variable. I think I actually should be able to do this instead. And now, man, I don't wanna break the convention of temporary variables. So I'll just do this. I'll say this is equals to that. Just tab the shit out of it. And I'm gonna print this. I really need to update my channel banner. Yeah, I should update mine too. Mine looks like a shopping mall map, which is kind of like what it's supposed to do. It's got bitfat UR here because I got like 6 different channels. Okay, so close this, save, compile. Errors? Yes, errors. Why? Oh yeah, should probably put my semicolons. Good. Compile. There we go. You'll be the server. This thing has crashed. I'm not sure what it is about Visual Studio. Well, not Visual Studio. Something about the application. Client pylon array size also says 200. So why are there half the amount? It's not like there's half the amount. It's just where does this loop end? This loop ends here. So okay, we do this amount of times. Right? Right. we start with reading the type pylon, which is an integer. Float, float, float. Another float for the rate, and float, float, float for the rotation. Man. We reposition the exit according to the lift. Is it supposed to be lift plus 250? Well, that's not the source of the problem. Then we take the switch and we read the variable. This variable is located in pylon type. Okay, so how about this? I totally forgot that I can put a default in here. And this happens to be a fantastic way if there isn't a value there. So we can do pylon 1. I mean, shit, if anything, we could just make a whole bunch of exit signs. But let's not do that. Load object. Let's see, what kind of an obvious thing can we make? Yeah, the arrow. Let's use the arrow files. If there's a default, so if it's not getting a pylon type. So now, I know that it does it 200 times. What do you mean there's errors? Cannot open file. Escape. Try it again. Okay. So, you be the server. You be the client. Well, I don't see any arrows. So this means that that is not the problem. Is there a big ass pylon going through the middle of this level? Yeah, there it is. Same as the client. Why is the client getting only... It looks like this is like a quarter. A quarter. Wait a minute. What the fuck is this? Why is there a thing here? Also, oh, it's probably because it's like a single one, isn't it? Let me take a look at this. Well, it's glowing just fine. Yeah, I just need to figure this thing out. As soon as I figure this thing out, I can have you, you know, do the test with me. Jump around the game, and yeah, as long as the this is the server. As long as when you die, it respawns the, or it doesn't respawn the pylon array design, because for some reason it does right now. Okay, so I'll leave the this thing here. right as it receives the message. Could it be this thing, maybe? I know we delete the message. Wait. No. Man. P. No. What if I you know, the only way I can really make use of the networking stuff is if I start moving this shit into header files. This game is getting pretty big, honestly. Oh, there's this thing that's going to happen. I call it the big move. It's when I'm gonna start working on the different game modes, which would have to be loaded as different games and different assets. I mean, some of the same assets, but for the most part different. And it's because of that is why I'm gonna have to start moving a shitload of data into different header files, which I recently learned how to do. 10.1. Let's take a look at this, maybe. There's not a whole lot to this message. We're only sending it if connection is not successful. At which point we're going to create a message, send the client, add. This is message 10.1. Request level layout. Could half of the messages be lost? Let me actually ask on the forum. Wait, no, not FPS Classic. So what do I need? I need, I guess, this stuff. Newcomers area. Wait, hold on. Instances, it did not objects. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay, so one more time. If we are a client server and we receive a message 10.1, we create a network message. Oh, hold on. I don't think I've included all the information I was supposed to in here. Built and sent once when the client is connecting, it's connected to the server. XYZ, XYZ, type rate. 8 times 2, 16. Has a limit I need to stick to. Okay, here we go. Once more, create a message, integer ID, integer type, or float type of message. There we go. After this, pylon array size. Network. This will return an integer. After that integer, we are sending the get lift. Incoming message lift. Yes. After this, we enter a loop. A loop which is supposed to occur as many times as our pylon array is in here. Temporary variables. Pylon type XX. Wait a minute. I'm not getting anything from here though. Oh no, I am positioning it here. That's right, okay. Pylon in array XYZ. This returns a float. This adds a float. I'm reading a float and putting it into a float. This is pylon XYZ. Position XYZ. Next is a rotation rate. Float, float. Import pylon XYZ. XYZ rotation. XYZ getting floats. Once we have gotten all the data, we set the object position for the lift object. In fact, let me actually do this right up here, right after we get the lift. Okay, so after we've gotten the float for the Z rotation, we create our objects depending on what the type is. Now, am I storing this? In fact, the type should be set when I am generating this stuff. It's an integer, and I'm reading it as an integer. I'm adding it as an integer, and I'm reading it as an integer. So case 1, 2, 3, 4 creates an object. Pylon size will be 0.4. Set object position of the pylon X, Y, Z. This is correct. I see some of those pylons matching up with the server. Set object image, set object rotation, pylon temporary rotation X. You know what? Temporary rotation Y, temporary rotation Z. How about temporary rotation X, Y, Z. Okay, now this is important. Pushback. Array, type, pylon rotation rate. Same values. The pylon ID. Pylon ID type. Technically don't need this. But let's just keep it just in case. Uh-huh. Yeah. Pylon X rotation, Y rotation, Z rotation. That's it. It should work. Why it doesn't, I don't know. One more thing that I'm gonna do after this is check if the array or the loop actually is getting executed 200 times. You be the server. You be the client. P. not using random values. I know that. So this sucker is rotating at the same rate, but all of these pylons, they're missing. They're missing, goddammit. Okay. So if I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna say right at the beginning, this is equals to 0. When it's entering the loop, I'm gonna do plus plus. And then I'll print the motherfucker. Loop size. Now let's take a look how many times that loop is executed. Pylon loop size is 400? Why is it 400? What? 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 Hold on. So I'll copy this. I'll have to print a break so I actually see these shenanigans. So this will actually print the pylon array as we receive it. So this pylon array that is correct, yes, and then we'll print this. Client pylon array size. Client pylon loop times. These two things need to match. I'm not expanding them twice. Unless it's receiving the message twice, which it shouldn't. This is all kinds of weird. All kinds of weird. P. No, I mean O. Yes. There's these two things. So client pylon array size is 200, but the loop occurs 400 times. Why? Let's see. What else can we deduce? What else can we deduce from this? So temp receiving pylon array size. Okay. Network received pylon loop or pylon array size. Just to be clear. No, this is the This is the for loop. For loop. Looped times. This is the net received client pylon. Net received server pylon array size. Debugging is not the most pretty looking task. What else can I do? Let me take a look at this for now, just to see what the values are again. P? I mean O. Let's do this. I wonder if we can actually lock the aspect ratio of the application. P. Okay, so net received server pylon array size is 200. However, it has looped 400 times. And yet we have like half to a quarter of the total amount of pylons we have here. Huh. So let's figure out why is the loop going through 400 times instead of 200. Here's the integer. XX starts at 0. If it's below this value, then we'll do XX++, and we'll start with this horseshit. Where does it end? It ends right here. End of network message reading loop. I mean, okay. This is not the first time that I am half tempted to try to convert this from for loop to a do loop. So let's maybe try to do that actually. Go over here, cancel this. We'll have a put a new one, do loop end, and where we have this thing, I'll do this and do this stuff. Do loop end while this condition. So while, before the do loop, we will start the, or do integer array ticker equals 0, or XX I should say, and this will be my array ticker, so that I don't have to rename any of this horseshit. When we do all of this stuff, right by the end, I'm going to say XX++. We're going to do this until XX is do while XX is below the size of the pylon array. If you are who you say you are, you will work until you get this done. Yeah, this has to be over here, and this has to have a semicolon. Okay, so we'll do O. And tell me this is gonna work. O, P. Big fat fuck you. That's what this is. That's what this is right now. It still does it 400 times. Pylon creation for looped 400 times. Why? This thing is clearly... Hold on. Temp size pylon array also shows up here. In which case I'm writing it down to this thing. What if I print this thing? What happens? Is it only going to show up for like a moment? Pretty sure that's what it's going to do. Sounds like kids are getting picked up. Print. What do you mean it doesn't want to print? It's unidentified because it has not been declared. This is why I'm using the temporary variable. What if it's receiving multiple of the same message? What if I go to the 10.1, so this is, if this is a client, so instead of connection successful, instead of connection successful, we're gonna say if, what is this gonna be, a two-step? I feel like this is redundant. This should be working. Well, okay. Knowing what it is that usually happens to me, I probably just need a break. Let's see, how long has this been going on? A good 3 hours. Oh yeah, I think that's a good place to take a break. So I'll do that. I'll be back maybe 30-45 minutes and we'll continue this. Continue losing our minds.